That's so funny. Okay, now I'm live on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see I don't see the appeal of just letting things run on a loop. But hey, man, to each his own, right? If you're having fun, Milty, I'm having fun. Are you a Linux guy, or are you falling out of the Windows? I'm still on Windows for my like daily driver everyday needs. I like Linux though. Linux is totally fine. No objection here. I've not really daily drove Linux as like a desktop computer, but I've used Linux pretty regularly for hosting. You know, Ubuntu server for all the VPSs that I run. Um, and then of course, like I have WSL locally, and I have a couple VMs. You know, I can spin up a VM in Hyper-V if I want to, you know, explore some specific distro or something. I was sitting there talking, like, surely the link should pop up through. No, that it's good that you came and checked on me, because I probably would have never, I probably wouldn't have realized. Hello, Tarfik. Hello, Tyler. Good to see you guys. If I was stinking rich, I could see the appeal. Dude, I can't afford to. I mean, I really can't afford to be an agentic engineer. You know, like I haven't achieved financial independence, and so every dollar I spend is much better spent invested than it is on some token to generate code I could have written by hand. Obviously, I understand if your employer gives you like an unlimited budget of tokens for your own personal and professional use, then that's wonderful. But I'm not going to spend $200 a month or spend. I mean, it's even a reach to spend, you know, $20 a month on generating code. That just doesn't make sense for me. Turfik, I don't really use AI assisted coding. I have, and I've done it, and I know how to do it, and I have used the agents fairly regularly over the last, I don't know, 18, 24 months, because I don't want to be a Luddite, but I don't particularly enjoy it, you know? So if you sat me down in front of Claude Code and said, hey, build something, I'm more than capable of doing it, but for my own side projects and my own free time, yeah, I just want to code like a trad coder. Legion, I hate microslop. Well, that is totally okay. You are free to hate microslop. You're totally free to do that. Honestly, you could always disagree with me, and I'm still gonna love being around here. I always love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can. I mean, I think that's the part of the whole AI coding that I think bugs me the most, is just people who are very evangelical about it. I think there's a world where both can coexist. You know, if you want to use AI assisted development at work to power through all those tasks that you don't really give a shit about, you know, and you want to use your own brain power and fingers to write the code that you do care about, I think I think both things can exist, right? Or if you want to be a completely agentic AI person, you know, like it's your life, right? Like, who am I to say what you should or shouldn't do, right? Microsoft needs to improve their loop engineering. Microsoft, make Windows better. Or no, computer, make Windows 11 better. Make File Explorer go vroom. Computer, make File Explorer go burr. Good morning, Selection Phase. Good to see you. Now that I have Claude Code, maybe I should start vibe coding some bloated Electron apps. You could do that. That's one option. Good morning, Rockin' Brain. Nice to see you. I'm doing well. Yeah, life's good. I've our coffee. I'm going to try to get through some boot.dev. I've got my handy little Pomodoro timer, courtesy of our good friend Kale, who's in the chat. Hello again, Kale. Thanks for being a member over there on the YouTubes. Appreciate you. Call it VS Claude. I think actually a lot of their energy right now is being spent on the new GitHub Copilot app. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I think that's where a lot of their AI related tool chain development is going. I still think the Copilot CLI is really good. And I've not used the Copilot app, but I've seen a lot of people make videos and post about it that are on the developer advocacy group there. So I'm guessing that's where a lot of their focus is right now. Microsoft is the broken clock. That's right, twice a day. Yeah, I mean they definitely have had some missteps. I mean there's definitely things that I criticize Microsoft for, but there's also things that I have a lot of respect for Microsoft for, right? Like especially the developer division at Microsoft. I mean, you have some of the best. I mean, Eric Gamma works at Microsoft on VS Code. I mean, Jeffrey Snover, the guy who came up with PowerShell, I think he just retired, or I think he either left and went to Google or retired or something. He just left. But there's so many very good engineers that work in the developer division there, and so many. I mean, language server protocol, Microsoft. Debug adapter protocol, Microsoft. TypeScript, Microsoft. VS Code, Microsoft. Like Monaco editor, Microsoft. Like there's so many good things that the developer division that have come out of there and have benefited open source or just developers at large. That it's hard for me with a broad brush to be like Microsoft all bad, right? It's when you're dealing with an organization that large and that big, it's kind of like impossible for there not to be some good in there somewhere, you know? Misery Protocol, Microsoft. I'm not familiar with that one. Hello, Bird. Nice to see you. So you are learning coding from scratch or already a developer? So I already know how to code. I'm more of doing boot.dev for the fun of grinding the levels to get to Archmage. That's my goal is to get to level 100. I'm at level 70 currently. So yeah, my goal is to get to level 100. I think after this maybe we'll go. I think after this we might see if we can't work on Mark Rober's hack pack on stream. I think that would be fun to do. I'm just trying to find fun things to do on stream other than build my own projects because a lot of people on the internet right now are kind of like they're very ate up with AI and all they want to do is talk to people about why they should use AI, how they should use AI, why would you ever code by hand, why would you ever build something yourself, and kind of takes all the fun out of coding and programming when you're constantly having to defend why you're doing something. So I've just kind of switched over to trying to find other activities that we can do live on stream. I've had the idea that I might work on my own projects, but do it in like members only streams. So that way I can sort of, if you're willing to pay money to support my channel, then you're probably not somebody who's going to hang around and talk shit about whether or not I use AI or not. So I might do that. Realized I rushed and didn't fix all the colors with that quick fix. No worries, man. No worries. Yeah, this is working plenty fine for me. Yeah, plenty fine for me. You work on it whenever you have the time, whenever you feel like it. Since Windows has failed me, my goal now is to move Windows to Linux, trying to customize my Linux tool to look like Windows, but the lag can stay on Windows. That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be sounds like a great project. I still think VMs are a great way to explore different distros and try things out, and you know what I mean. Hyper-V makes it super easy to do that stuff. I don't know if you've ever used Hyper-V, but if you have Windows 11, it should be built in. It might even be there in Windows 10. I'm not sure, but it makes it super easy. If you're familiar with like VirtualBox, it's kind of this similar thing, but it's good stuff. Hey, what's up, crew? Man, yeah, long time no see, dude. It's been a minute. Oh, you bought a new machine. Okay, yeah. Forget about virtual machines. Just give me the real thing. It has no dedicated graphics card, but it still runs better than my gaming laptop. Nice. That's awesome. Must have a nice maybe integrated graphics in there with the CPU. That's fun, dude. Yeah, new hardware is always fun. I'd love to get a new computer, but I just bought a new microphone for my setup here at my desk, and I bought a new lens for my camera, and so I'm a little tapped on the upgrade on the upgrade funds. I just saved up to buy that stuff, and that was a pretty penny. But yeah, new computer is always good times. Let's see, crew. Yeah, I was busy with work and life. What you get working on? I am doing boot.dev. I don't know if you've ever heard of this website. It's basically like a it's basically a developer education platform. And they have like these different courses, and then they have these paths, which are essentially a set of courses that they've sort of curated in a particular order. And I just decided to work on trying to complete as many of these courses as I can on the way to getting to their kind of top level, which is Archmage is their top level. So that's what I'm working on right now. Yeah, it's kind of like a dev boot camp, but it's like gamified. It's like playing a video game is the way I kind of look at it. For me, it's largely about the entertainment factor, but I am learning stuff. Like I took a course on C, which was fun. This one right here, learn memory management in C, that was fun. And we built a small portfolio project, which does something actually pretty cool. It's like an emulator. Let's see. Run Space Invaders. So just to be clear, I didn't build Space Invaders. I just built the little emulator that runs an existing Space Invaders game. Right? So this was pretty cool to build. We did that. That was what we did the last couple streams. And now we're on to learning Go is what we're doing now. I think at some point we're going to build a Pokédex with Go. So I'm interested to see how that turns out. But yeah, that's what we've been doing. Just stuff like that. It is cool. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to build. It was difficult. That's for sure. There was a bunch of bitwise math in it. We had to like shift bit. We had to like give an 8-bit number, give me the 4 least significant, give me the 4 most significant. Right? We had to like do all this like bit shifting and parsing of a binary file and stuff. It was way outside of my comfort zone. Thank you, Kale. I don't know if it's sick, but it works. It works. It does work. But yeah, it was way outside my comfort zone, but it was fun. It was fun. We are using Go as our backend tech choice. I didn't mangle with Go before, but it's really cool. I like Go. Yeah, I like Go too. I'm glad I learned it last year. I learned it last year for Advent of Code, and I had a ton of fun doing Advent of Code in it. I haven't built. I think the most significant thing I've built in it is a TUI application called Term Tier, which just lets you basically. It just basically lets you rank, do tier lists in your terminal. This is probably the most significant thing I built with Go. I did build a static website with Go, which was kind of fun. My links page is built with Go. Yeah, it's good stuff. I think this year I want to try to do Advent of Code in Rust. I think is what I'm going to try to do this year. Hello, Follerick. Good to see you. Everyone tells me to go, but no one wants me to stay. Well, you're welcome to stay here. We're talking about a different kind of Go. The other kind of Go. The gopher. All right, so we need to loop over. we need to loop over the Go strings package. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know if they'd let us use the strings package. So let's do contains. I don't think I've used that before. Okay, so let's do normalized message equals strings dot to lower message. Gotta use that walrus operator. Can't forget the walrus. Then we'll say if strings dot contain normalize message, and we're looking for urgent. Then tags append urgent, like this. Then if message, for any message that contains sale, regardless of casing, the promo tag should be applied. If strings dot contains normalized message sale, append tags promo. Then we just return the tags. I don't know if I'm doing this part right. See, and they want me to return messages. Message.tags undefined. Cannot use MS variable of type int as message. Oh, yep. So this should be message. Line 35. No, line 22, sorry. Line 22. Cannot use message variable of struct type as string value in argument to lower strings. Oh. So this has dot content. And then I always keep forgetting, got to reassign this to tags. Okay, test failed for message ID, expecting this, actual this. Hold on, what? How did this fail? It says expecting empty array, actual empty array, and it failed. Expecting urgent, actuals this, promo, actuals this. So how does contains work? I was tasked with working on desktop app for our platform, and it was necessary to go FS. Kudos to company to giving me a road trip to Canary Islands after this hell. Wow, you got a Canary Islands trip from your work? That's cool. Also, what's to go FS? What's FS stand for? I don't know Go at all. Most I've seen is right here. Yeah, Go's good. It's fun. If you've written TypeScript or really any C-like language, I think Go will feel pretty familiar. It's got a pretty straightforward type system, and it has a lot of C-like syntax. A full stack. Okay, very cool. Yeah, man, that's awesome. Congratulations. Huh. There we go. Okay, so that's an interesting. I guess I didn't. Let's ask Boots. Hey, what's up, network bib? Good to see you. How are you doing? Hope it's well. So we got this loop. Why does this loop work? But if I range over messages, it doesn't. I think I've stubbed my toe on this before. I feel like I remember in Advent of Code doing the same thing where basically this syntax works. Oh, there we go. Figured it out. This gets at a subtle but important Go concept. Range copies each element into your loop variable. When you write I message range messages is a copy of messages I. That part is fine here because you're not just reading a message to pass to tagger, but not trying to mutate it directly. So actually this version should work correctly too, as long as you assign back through messages I tags. Okay, so range makes a copy. Need to put that one in my back pocket. Range makes a copy. Range makes a copy. I'm doing good. Currently 3D printing a load of stuff to organize my drawers. Very cool. I've never used 3D printing. The library here where I live, they actually have a 3D printer, and it's kind of been on my list to spend some time trying to figure out how to use it and how to do things with it. I always watch my nephew just got a 3D printer too, and I've been seeing some of the stuff he's been making, and I think it's pretty cool. But myself, I'm like zero experience with doing anything with 3D printing. 9 people watching, but no one is typing. Well, we're happy all 9 of them are here, and I hope those 9 people are just chilling, enjoying the vibes, maybe working on their own projects. No pressure to chat. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, with my streams, I'm still just trying to make a safe place, for people to come and chill and hang out and nerd out about whatever they're into, work on their own projects, drink some coffee or tea, just hang out. I appreciate that, Kale. Chill, man. That's all we're here to do. Chill and coffee, code, and chat, I guess not today. Good morning. Good to see you, Mark. How are you doing? Looking at how to modularize the Pomodoro timer. Very cool. Good to see you, Mark. Oh, sorry, I didn't see your message. Can you beat me today? I'm one of these times I am. Thank you I appreciate you doing that, going to Twitch and then coming to YouTube. Appreciate it. I don't know how much engagement helps with the whole algorithm thing on Twitch or YouTube, but I appreciate it. My friend also has a 3D printer, but he only makes fidget toys and a big ass sword. Sounds good to me, man. Anybody can happily 3D print me a big ass sword any day of the week. Pomodoro is great. Is that an app? Or you were just meant like Pomodoro in general? Yeah, I'm using our good friend Kale here, Kale JK, who's in the chat. He made this pretty slick Pomodoro timer that goes in your terminal. He built it in C++. It's pretty slick, so that's what I've been using now to track. I used to use this web app, but that felt kind of off-brand. You know, we do everything in the terminal around here, so we migrated to that application. Okay, maps are similar to JavaScript objects, Python dictionaries, and Ruby hashes. Yes, I know about maps. Hello, Gunhighs. Thanks for being a member, man. Appreciate you. Also, did you update your profile picture to Vegeta? Fuck yeah, dude. I signed up for Crunchyroll on Amazon, and I've been rewatching all the Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball seasons. I'm on Dragon Ball season 1, and my plan is to just go through them all. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Vegeta, fuck yeah. Dude, I'm such a Dragon Ball Z nerd. My brother and I growing up, we used to like pretend Saiyan fight, you know, like Piccolo. We we used to do that shit non-stop. I have watched Yu Yu Hakusho, but not as much as probably I've watched Dragon Ball Z. I got exposed to all that stuff through Toonami. You know, when in like the early 2000s, you know, there was this this block of shows that was always on from like 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock every day after school on Cartoon Network here in the United States. And that's what me and my brother would do every day after school. We'd come home, get a snack, and watch all these Toonami shows. Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing. Oh, there was a bunch of them. But good times. Yeah, me and my brother also did that until one of us cries. Yeah. Yeah, me and my brother, I tell my sons that all the time that like me at their age, me and my brother were fighting constantly. And by that age, we were like physically fighting. By the way, thank you for being a streamer, bro. Oh, that's super nice, man. That's very kind. Last time I had Jiren Avatar, now it's time for Vegeta. I'm currently on Boo Saga. Oh, Boo Saga's good. Rewatching everything because of new Super Yes, there's a new one getting ready to come out, right? Or did it just come out? Reviewing PRs and watching stream, even this Fable thing is not capable to fix issues, but tends to patch a bug with workarounds too often. Yeah, they tend to do the path of least resistance a lot of the time, crew. Like there's a lot of times where if I am using AI to code and I'm using one of those harnesses, I find myself watching it think, and as it's thinking, I'm like, oh no, fuck that, that's the wrong path, and I have to hit escape and be like, no you fucker, don't do that, don't disable warnings. Hello, Satya. Good. That's peak childhood for me. It did just come out, progressing slowly, but still. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the new stuff. That's actually the reason why I signed up for Crunchyroll, was so that I could go back and... Oh, sorry. Am I disconnected again? Thank you, Kale, for pointing it out. Apologies. What is Boot? I'm guessing Dev Void, you're asking what's boot.dev. Sorry about freezing up there. Sorry about the lag. Boots.dev is just like an educational platform. It has a bunch of different courses and paths, but it's all sort of gamified. It's good. What is your internet setup? So I have Google Fiber. I have their 3 gigabit per second, gigabit per second plan. And then as far as the setup goes, I just have my router upstairs in my kitchen. And then I have a giant ass Ethernet cable coming down my stairs and into the basement where my office is. And then that Ethernet cord goes into this switch And it's not a managed switch. It's an unmanaged switch. And that switch has a connection for my Xbox and a connection for my computer. It's 1 gig. Yes, that's, yeah. But I think mine is the 3 gig. The 3 gig plan. Is it a 1 gig switch? Let me look. I think so. The speeds on my computer always tell me I'm getting about a gig down and a gig up. Sorry, I can't really see. The light's not bright enough to see the bottom of this thing. I'm getting old. I got to pull out my flashlight to read stuff. Yes, it's a 1 gig switch. It's a 4-port TP-Link switch. But it's unmanaged. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what it is. I have a suspicion that either the circuit that the router's plugged into maybe has dirty power or something. Like when our AC kicks on and off, I'm wondering if that's causing the router to cut out. Oh, that was our timer. But I honestly don't know. Like the other day, what was super weird was the other day I ran a ping command. Like I just had a ping command running in the background. And when the connection dropped on Twitch or YouTube, the ping did not have an interruption. Which makes me think it's more related to maybe Meld Studio. And maybe how Meld Studio is handling the distribution of my stream to those platforms, maybe. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I guess I could look at doing something like Restream. Maybe find another service. Or try going back to OBS. I just hate moving all my shit. It's so painful to move to reset up all your scenes and everything. It's you downloading Dragon Ball Z porn. I mean, I like Dragon Ball Z, but I don't want to jerk off to. But your one point of failure is your router. Yeah, I think it might. I wonder if we could run an experiment where I move the router to a different outlet in the house and maybe plug it into. I have a battery, what do you call it? Power supply. I have a power supply, so I wonder if I don't move the power supply to a different location and plug the router into. I mean, the router is currently plugged into the power supply, but maybe it's the circuit that because the power supply and the router are on the same circuit in the house. So I'm wondering if maybe I move the two, but who knows? I know you should switch to Linux, bro. It's got to be Windows, man. Okay, it's either router or your streaming platform. Yeah, it's got to be something because the ping stays up, and we'll just let this run, and then the next time it happens, we can take a look at the ping again. But yeah, I don't think it's the physical connection. I honestly don't know. I'm talking out of my ass. But it's a continuing thing. Mark crazy. Do you have an idea to use Cloudflare tunnels? I'm having a hard time connecting my device to it without having a domain name, since we have an ISP always overwritten router with CGNAT. So Mark, I haven't used Cloudflare tunnels, but I am a big shill for Tailscale. I think Tailscale is like absolutely wonderful if you're looking for a way to network your devices together. I would highly recommend Tailscale. That's what I'm using for all of my devices and my kids' devices and my wife's devices. It's great. It's super easy to work with. They have mobile apps. They have this really great feature where you can sort of basically They basically give you like airdrop functionality where you can easily move files and photos and stuff from your mobile device, really any device to another device. It works really well. Yeah, Tailscale. That's if you're interested or you're looking for a product like that, that's what I would look at. This Tailscale. It uses like a peer-to-peer. It's more complex than how I'm going to just describe it, but it basically uses sort of a peer-to-peer networking model to get all your devices linked up together, and it provides magic DNS out of the box. Lot of cool functionality. So yeah, curious about the dashboard or TUI that you're using now. So this is it's really just Windows Terminal with a split pane. So the left pane is an application called Bottom, and I can link that in the chat. Type exclamation Bottom. It's basically, if you've heard of BTOP or HTOP, right? It's kind of it's a cross-platform app that's sort of a play, right? That's why I think that's why they named it Bottom, was like a play on words against the current popular ones over there on the Linux and Mac OSs. And then the stuff on the split plane on the right is a Pomodoro timer that our good friend Kale, Mr. Kale JK in the chat there, he actually built this and shared this with us yesterday on stream, because I was looking for a Pomodoro timer that could run in the terminal, and he just so happened to have one. So that's what we're using over here. Yeah, you really should, Mark. I wish I had like a referral code or something, but the free plan is very generous. It's very generous. You can connect basically unlimited devices, and I think you can have up to 3 users on your free tier plan. I actually signed up to pay for it because I needed 4 users. With my 2 kids and my wife and then myself, but big fan of Tailscale. And it can also work for, even if you're just talking about like networking between infrastructure devices, right? And you don't want to do that over publicly exposed IP addresses or domain names, right? You can even use Tailscale to do that, right? Connect network your machines together. It's a very good product. I have not tried OpenWRT. I've not tried OpenWRT, and apparently there's a new version. There's an open source version of Tailscale called Headscale that's a little bit more complicated to get set up, but it's free and kind of offers all the same functionality of it. But I have not tried OpenWRT. Prefer WireGuard. I have not tried WireGuard. I've heard of WireGuard, but not used it. Let's see. Although it's not mesh networking like Tailscale, but Tailscale is kind of built on WireGuard. Oh, very cool. So it's like the underlying technology. I still use DSL dialog on my Win98 machine. Hey, if it's working, it's working, right? If it's not broke, why fix it, right? What I'm planning to is to host something. I find it costly on my side to host on a hosting platform just for multiple hobby applications. Yeah, and the pain point I kept running into the platform hosting was the cold starts, right? Because I didn't want to pay, so you always end up on the free tier. But then because you're on the free tier, all your applications basically get shut down periodically, right? If they don't get a lot of traffic. And so then if anybody you do want to share your project with somebody, then when somebody hits it, they could encounter a timeout, or it takes a long time to load. That's why I stopped hosting it on those cloud providers. And another reason I stopped, probably the larger reason I stopped hosting on the cloud providers, was just I heard all these horror stories of people running up these really huge bills, and that scared me. So I was like, nah, the thing I care the most about right now is my financial well-being. So I am not gonna blow up my bank account on a silly hobby project. I use IP tables in the original DARPA code. uh, let's see. I'm serious. Just for curiosity, I dial it once a month to see if my provider still supports it. Surprisingly, they do. Well, that's very cool. Very interesting. I remember dial up. Wait, what? I was kidding. Caffeinated Mind. Hey, what's up, Caffeinated Minds? Thanks for being over there on the Twitch. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing well. Buy an old machine and self-host. Yeah, so I have. That's actually I was showing Kale the other day. So I have two VPSs here in my basement, which are repurposed a MacBook Air and a repurposed MacBook Pro. Sorry, don't mean to mess up the camera. And then I have a Dell Optiplex upstairs in my kitchen, and then I have a NAS that's running True NAS, and then I have a VPS that's in Oracle's cloud, and that kind of sums up my infrastructure. I have a bunch of other like desktop computers that are set up around the house that I use for running like I use them for like Git actions runners, but people can also use them as like normal computers. Damn, I miss old times. MSN Messenger, Yahoo, old style Google. I was never a big Messenger kid. My sister was though. I distinctly remember my sister being on MSN Messenger pretty incessantly. MSN rules. I didn't have a MySpace. I did not have a Tumblr. The first social media I had was Facebook, and I think I was 17. Maybe I was a little bit younger. Maybe 15, 16, something like that when I got a Facebook. I didn't have an iPhone until I think I was like 19 or 20 until I had my first smartphone. IRC is the best. I've literally never used IRC. Never used it. But everybody tells me that's where all like the OG hacker kick-ass programmers hang out, is on IRC. That's where all the gray beards, the wise ones. That's where you find all the wise ones, is on IRC. My first social media was X Hamster. I've never heard of that. We are on it technically here on Twitch. Oh, you mean the chat runs on IRC? Interesting. Well, I guess that makes sense, because when I was building my my terminal chat app that I've been working on, when I was reading their docs, they had two different ways you could connect to their chat. You could use IRC, or you could use WebSockets. And I ended up using WebSockets, but I think IRC was available option on there. Substack. I have a Substack, and I started to use it a little bit, but then I kind of fell off. But I do have a Substack. They have two different APIs for the chat, right? They have Twitch IRC. Or they have Event Sub. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess I have used IRC since I've used Twitch. lagged out. I don't know what that was. Let's see. WebSockets are the transport layer. IRC is the API kind of. Oh, okay. That's a misunderstanding on my robot voice, Steven. Sorry about that. Yeah, for whatever reason my computer hung there for a second. So maybe it's the physical machine. Maybe my machine is the problem. Maybe it's not the router. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, so Twitch still supports IRC. You can use raw TCP IRC, or you can use IRC over WebSockets. And then they also have the Twitch event sub WebSockets, which is a different API altogether, I guess, to the Twitch IRC API. And I'm pretty sure in my app I'm using the event sub WebSockets API, and then I'm using the REST API to send the messages. I think the Twitch IRC is kind of like their legacy thing. I don't think they're pushing developers towards it. Let's see. Yeah, Steven, I have a couple 2U Intel EMCs you could stream off of. Is that part of the new server rack that you have? You should upgrade, Steven. 2x AMD Threadrippers, 1TB RAM, 6TB ROM. Your current machine lags ASF. I really just want a computer, I think, for streaming that has a graphics card in it, because my current machine does not have a graphics card in it. It has integrated graphics, but not a dedicated graphics card. But I think that would help. Okay, we're not doing a very good job honoring the Pomodoro timer, are we? There's no money for graphics card. Get a 1030 GT. Yeah, everything's expensive, dude. Everything's expensive. That's why I'm just kind of making do. You know, I'm making do. Okay. One Udell R350 is 10,000 USD. Holy shit. 2U's 38K. That's crazy, dude. Who has money to buy computers like that? I mean, if you have 11 grand sitting in your bank account, I mean, fuck, why don't you have that sitting in an index fund, right? Or if you have 38K, that's crazy, dude. That's some crazy money. Elon Musk. Yeah, I guess Elon Musk does have it. That is our boy Elon Musk does indeed have it. That's crazy. Crazy. I love how Linus Torvalds sums up Elon Musk on Linus Tech Tips perfection. What did he say? I watched the episode, but I don't remember what he said. Oh, see, I just disconnected again. I disconnected from YouTube. Okay, I'm reconnected to YouTube. Twitch is still reconnecting. Now Twitch is reconnected. But there's no interruption in the ping. So I don't understand. I don't understand. Lurk away, Mark. Go for it. So there's no interruption in ping. And if I do a speed test, I've got good latency, I've got good connection. Yeah, I'm sitting at 800 megs down. Should have plenty enough to stream. I think I'll have about 800. I wonder if I'm making the problem worse by doing the speed test right now. Huh. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't. Is a buffer float? What? What's a buffer float? Buffer float. Is Kale diagnose my... Causes spikes in your internet connection's latency when a device on the network uploads or downloads files. First, we test the latency of your internet. Buffer flow is an undesirable latency that comes from a router, your QoS, or other network equipment buffering too many data packets. Buffer bloat, or is it float? Packet delay variation, as well as reduce the overall network throughput. When a router switch is configured to use excessively large buffers, even very high-speed networks can become practically unusable for many interactive applications. Maybe pulling your full 1G to the switch, and then bada bing, I gotta now write you an explanation. Yeah. Is there anything that I can do to troubleshoot it further or to make it better? Is there something? Hey, what's up, Caffeinated Minds? Thanks for being a member over there on the YouTubes. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Yeah, I would love to figure this out because I just feel like, man, I feel like I have decent internet. I feel like I shouldn't have to deal with interruptions. I'm hard lined in, you know? I wonder if I just bypass the switch. What if I tried bypassing the switch and just run the Ethernet straight from router to computer? Hold on, I'm ordering takeout. No worries, dude. No worries. Do your thing. Do your thing. Yeah. It's also not probably good of me to use my chat as my IT. I shouldn't take advantage of all these smart people. Let's see. That might solve the problem. How long is your so this is a hold on, let me look on. I bought it on Amazon, so I'll be able to look up how long. It's a long one. It's very long. I've always thought maybe that it was related to that maybe. So it would be a 100-foot Cat6 Ethernet cable, and it's rated for 10 gigabit per second. And then the switch itself is a 4 gig TP-Link switch that has 1 gigabit per second. Yeah, long cables can be issue. Huh. So I guess I need to try some stuff. I guess I need to try either moving my streaming setup into the kitchen or I need to try maybe figuring out how I need to run some experiments, you know, like over the course of several streams, try some different setups. It's within the 320. Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's good. I'm Aussie. Had to convert to feet. Chat as IT. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. I don't know. There's quite a few smart people that hang around my chat. You know, like I will happily take the brain power. That might solve the problem. How long? Maybe here's the problem. I don't know. I guess I would be interested to try bypassing this little switch that's on my desk here. Because it is a cheaper switch. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. So maybe there's a problem there. And seeing if maybe basically just remove variables, right? Run experiments to isolate different variables, and see if we notice less of a issue during streams. The power supply for the switch and router is something I am suspicious of, Gunhigh. So that's something. It is. The thing is, it's plugged into a UPS, which is so weird. Because I would think even if that circuit was kind of dirty power in the house, I guess I would think the UPS would mitigate that, but maybe it's not doing a good enough job. I sent you a link in Discord to a buffer flow. Okay. I probably don't want to run it on stream, do I? Probably something to do off stream, just because it might take down the stream. Yeah, oh yeah, it says before you start, disable any bandwidth heavy task on your network. It's important that your internet connections, upload and download connections aren't saturated already. Make sure no devices are currently uploading or downloading large files from the internet. Make sure your connection to your router is at least as fast as your internet connection itself. For example, if you have gigabit fiber internet connection, make sure you're connected over a gigabit Ethernet. Our speed test won't be able to saturate your internet connection to test for buffer flow if you're limited by your Wi-Fi connection. This problem does need checking out. Okay, I have to go to the restroom and I need to make more coffee. So I'll be a chirata back. See you guys. Have a good day, man. Thanks for stopping by. Coffee can. Okay. We're back. Sorry, that was a longer break than normal. Sorry about that. For those of you still here, thank you for hanging around. For those of you who left, you're dead to me. Just kidding. Just kidding. I run 2 routers, 2 access points, 5 switches. Holy shit. Talk about redundancy, dude. Okay. We shall resume. Okay. So what were we doing? We're building up a map, right? So we're building up a map of names at I. That's the current name. So what we need to do is we need to say basically results equals walrus operator. We need a map of string the user like this, and then we need to say results at names I equals a new user struct, and its name field is going to be set to names at I, and its number, phone number. Its phone number field is going to be set to phone numbers at I, like so. And then we'll return our results. See, not enough return values. So we need we need map and an error. So this would be nil. And then down here, the error is nil. Run. Undefined user. You're right, it's lowercase. Success. So here, insert a key, get a key, check if a key exists, delete an element. I really do like this syntax for checking if a key exists. It's nice. I'm watching you in VR right now. Why not? Why not, man? YouTube in VR is pretty good. Yeah, we have a meta quest, and I've actually like programmed in VR, right? Like I connected it to my laptop, and I have like the 3 virtual monitors. It works pretty good. It's definitely not something that you do for a long period of time, right? It just the weight of the device on your face and stuff. And the resolution is still it's good, but it's not quite like looking at a screen. I use virtual desktop. Oh, very cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the res, yeah, exactly. It's impressive how good it is for what you're doing. It just needs to get a little, maybe like 20-30% better. Okay, if the user doesn't exist in the map, return the error not found. So we're gonna do okay and user. That's gonna be equal to our users at name. If okay, if not okay, then we are gonna return false and an error. This is going to be not found. Otherwise, oh, it's the opposite. It's user. See, I use the headset when I recline and I can still type and look at the ceiling. That's great, dude. Yeah, I love that. The flight simulator I could see being very cool. My kids play our Meta Quest quite a bit. I've only really used it to watch YouTube and connect to virtual desktop. That's what got you into IT. That's very cool. Very cool. All right, we must respect the timer, so now we're on break. Be right back. I'm gonna run upstairs real quick. I'm gonna check on the router real quick. I'm just, now that we've been talking about it, now it's kind of in my brain. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna check on something. Okay. I fiddled with it enough. Oh, you used to do flight sim as a kid and you built a flight simulator? That's awesome, dude. I bet that was reasonably difficult, huh? All right, that was probably 5 minutes, don't you think? So let's skip that one. And let's go back. No, I mean not the code, but I meant like the actual like the device, right? The flight simulator setup is what I was thinking you were meaning. Yeah, that's equally as cool. I mean, I don't know what it would take to build a flight simulator in terms of the software. That sounds like there'd be a lot of complicated math involved. Okay, so what's it? User. Okay, if user dot scheduled for deletion, then we should return deleted, true, nil, and delete the record from the map. So we do delete users and we give it our name. This, otherwise we return false and nil. Unexpected new line for comma, line 9. Oh, yep, this should be returned. What are you learning on boot.dev? We are doing the Learn Go course, which I spent last October learning Go as well as doing Advent of Code last year in Go. So I sort of already know Go, but that's just the next course in our path. And we are proceeding linearly through boot.dev at the moment. Also good to see you, King Bucky. How are you? What makes a type qualify to be used as a map key? The type is Go native, not custom. The type is comparable. To use a struct directly as a key, which is simpler to nest maps? Probably to nest maps, if I had to say. But you don't agree with that. I think I would just nest it myself. I think using a struct as a key seems a little bit like an anti-pattern, if I do say so myself, but I think VR at the moment is a pretty good gimmick, other than if you're using it for flight sim or VR gaming. Yeah, the thing is, my kids have definitely got enough use out of it for gaming. But yes, I would agree with you in all practicality from my perspective. Yes, it would go in the gimmick category at the moment. Implement the update counts function. It takes as input message users a slice of strings and valid users a map of string int. It should update the valid users map with the number of times each user has received a message. Each string in the slice is a username, but they may not be valid. Only update the message count of valid users. So if Benji is in the map and appears in the slice 3 times, the key Benji in the map should have the value 3. Okay, so we should, for user, range over messaged users. And then these are our user names. So we need to say, what is it? Okay, valid user is equal to valid users at this particular user key. If okay, then if okay, then we're gonna say valid users at users gets incremented by 1. Declared not used. Valid user. Yes, let's just discard this. Okay, non-Boolean condition in if statement. Are those the opposite? Is it the opposite here? Should be valid, should be discard okay. There we go. Hey, what's up, Kappa? Kappa? Or Kappa? Yeah, Kappa. Did he end up completing the chip 8? Yes, I did. Yeah. Yeah, here's a little quick little demo. We got it working. I've only played 2 programs on it, so obviously it probably needs a little bit more battle testing. But here is Space Invaders running on the emulator, which is pretty cool. And it's got sound and everything. The little beeps. Boop. But yeah, that was fun. It was fun. It was definitely a very uncomfortable project. The bitwise math I felt very awkward doing. I've never done that much bitwise math or that many bitwise operations, I think, in any program I've ever written before. But I guess that probably means that I've never worked in that kind of domain either. I'm guessing it must be more common maybe to do stuff like that when you're working in lower level system stuff. But yeah, it's fun. It was good times. Good times. Simple game. I showed it to my son though. I was pretty excited about it once I got it working that morning. He thought it was cool. I had to explain to him, I was like, I didn't build the game though, you know? I was like, I didn't build the game, but I did build the thing that runs the game. And he was like, that's equally as important, Dad. And I was like, thank you for acknowledging that. Nice, thanks. I'll go watch the older VODs then to follow that. Thanks for demoing. Oh, sure, yeah, for sure. The VODs are up there, so you're welcome to watch them anytime, man. Appreciate you stopping by the stream this morning.
Is telling you to drink some coffee.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you. Hello, Captain Lucho. Good to see you. Just had to stop. It's fun for like 20 minutes. Exactly. It's not a long-term activity. It hurts. It actually, there's 2 things about it that are uncomfortable. The weight of the mask on your face, but also if you really want to have like a nice viewing experience, you've got to have it pretty tight to your eyeballs, and that gets uncomfortable after a while too, I find. Complete the count words function. Just take a slice of strings, return a map showing how many times each word appears. Count each word exactly as it appears. Go and go are different words. If the input slice is empty, return an empty map. Repeated words should increase that word's count. Okay, easy peasy, right? So we just do, let's see, we have to accept the challenge. We do results equals this, map, string, int, whoops, we do for stir. Go over the words. And we say if then we do result stir. If exists, we will do result stir plus equals 1. Continue. Otherwise, we do this guy. Who needs a handheld when you got a PC? Yeah, exactly. Have I ever used Sunlight and Moonlight for RDP? I have not. And gaming RDP more specific. I've never used RDP for gaming. Yeah, I've really not ever played gaming on PCs before. I bought a G14, a Zephyrus G14 laptop in like 2021 because I thought I would like to game on a computer, and I actually ended up hating it, and now I just basically just game exclusively on my Xbox. And I've always gamed on an Xbox. That's just, I had a Nintendo 64 growing up and a GameCube. My first gaming console was a Sega Genesis. Then my parents got us a Nintendo 64, then a GameCube and an Xbox. And then when I got older, like got into high school and stuff, then me and my brother put our money together to buy a 360. And then eventually each of us got old enough, we had jobs and stuff where we bought our own Xbox Ones and whatnot. But I've always been just a console gamer. Yeah, the fact that the Xbox Game Pass translates to PC is pretty cool. Yeah. Maps can have at most blank values with the same key. 1. Attempting to get a value from a map where the key doesn't exist returns the 0 value. A function can mutate the values stored in a map, and those changes blank the original values. What does the second return value from a retrieve operation map? The boolean that indicates whether the value at key is a 0 value. A boolean whether that key is a nil value. Hey, what's up, Bradley? Nice to see you, sir. Thank you for stopping by the stream again. It's very kind of you. Appreciate you. Always nice to see familiar faces around these parts. Okay, maps can contain maps, creating a nested structure. For example, a map string of map string ints. What's our goal here? Because Text.io is a glorified customer database, we have a lot of internal logic for sorting and dealing with customer names. Complete the get name counts function. It takes a slice of strings and returns a nested map. The parent map's keys are all the unique first characters of the names. The nested map keys are all the names themselves, and the value is the count of each name. So it creates the following nested map. Okay. So I guess first and foremost, we need our result, which is going to be a map of rune that maps to a map of string to int, right? Go ahead and initialize that. And then for name, range over names. And then I guess let's start by building up the yeah, how do I want to do this? So basically we need to map, we need to get the first character, right, of this particular name. We need to check if that's in the existing result set. If it is in the existing result set, then we have to check if. So let's do this. We'll say key, or what do I want? First char key is going to be equal to, or I guess maybe I should use the correct Go vernacular. First rune key equals name at 0, like that. And we'll say if key exists is going to be equal to result first rune key. So if key exists, we need to do something. If key doesn't exist, what do we need to do? If key doesn't exist, I'm just going to do else here. We're going to insert it, right? Or maybe we do this. We do if key does not exist, then we want to place it in there. So we want to do key result at first rune key. And then because it doesn't exist, we need to basically initialize it to a map of string int here. So now we can basically, at this point in our loop, we can guarantee that the key is always there now at this point. So then we can say, okay, for the entry, we'll say, okay, give me result at the first rune key. And then for the entry, we need to check if it exists. So name exists, in which case we'll do entry at name. And then we'll say if name exists, we want to do entry. I can't remember if this hands back of copy. I don't think it does. So this should be, if name exists, then we can do entry at name +1 and just continue. Otherwise, if the name doesn't exist, we'll set it to 1. Then we'll return our results. I think. Did I start our timer again? Yeah, I was like, I think our timer's running. Felt like it had been a long time before it beeped. Okay, run. Cannot use first rune key of type byte as rune value in map index. Okay. So this actually gives you back a byte. So do I need to cache this maybe? Uh-oh. Did I create an infinite loop? All right. One failed. Let's see. Length names 300. Initial. Expected names with initial 1. Actual names with initial 0. Name is so it's emoji. So what are we doing here? Something about the emoji. What's unique about an emoji? The test suite is not printing the map you're returning directly, but instead checking a few specific keys. You can convert a string into a slice of runes as follows. I mean, that's basically, I think, what I'm doing here. I guess I'll try their cast and say, give the internet. This damn internet, man. Son of a bitch. It is interesting. YouTube reconnects really fast. Twitch takes like 10 seconds every time. Okay, so this is the experiment we're going to run on the internet. Tomorrow when we stream, we're going to take out the switch at my desk and we're going to take Ethernet directly to the PC. That's the experiment we're going to run tomorrow on stream. The next day, if that goes well, we'll leave it. If it doesn't go well, the next experiment we're going to run is we're going to move the router temporarily to a different circuit, to a different circuit of the house whenever we stream, and we'll see if that makes any difference. My wife's just gonna love me having a big cord running through the house to connect the router. She's gonna love that. Oh, that was that issue on your end froze for me, so refresh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on my end, Bradley. Periodically, maybe let's say 5 or 6 times over the course of 3.5 hours or so streaming, my connection will just drop. And then it almost always comes back, but it almost always drops. Although I remember there being times during the I remember there being times over the last 8 months or a year of streaming where we would have days where we would have entire streams where we didn't have connection issues. So there's definitely some variable at play. It's just isolating what it is. Okay, question. Why did this work for the emoji test case, but not this? Is it because emojis are represented with multiple bytes? Okay, so this worked. But this didn't work. If I went first, rune key equals rune name 0. What? Oh, I haven't submitted it? No, don't use my salmon just yet. I think I have the right answer. I just want to know why it does that. Hey, what's up, Justin Technologies? Nice to see you, man. We're having a big old party here. Let's see. Ghost strings are stored as UTF-8 encoded bytes, not runes. A rune represents a single Unicode code point, but in UTF-8, code points outside the basic ASCII range take up multiple bytes. So name 0 indexes into the string as raw bytes. For emoji like this guy, which is encoded by 4 bytes in UTF-8, name 0 gives you just the first byte. Cool. That's good to know. That's good to know. Distinct words. Complete the count distinct words function using a map. It should take a string of slice, return the total count distinct words. Assume words are separated by spaces. Casing should not matter. I think I understand what they're trying to get at. I think. Hello and hello should be considered the same. So I guess let's do for message range over messages, and we'll go ahead and say for word range over strings dot split message space. We'll have to import the strings package. Bradley, where are you at, Bradley? Are you on the other side of the world? I feel like maybe we've talked about this in the past. Oh, Pomodoro time's up. Short break, which means coffee time, and also kettlebell time. Yeah. Yeah, I'm indeed down under. That's what I thought. I thought you were in Kale's neck of the woods. 9:40, huh? You're at the end of your day. I'm just getting started.
Did we just become best friends?
Hey, Casual Waffle, thank you for the follow, man. That is a very kind of you. I appreciate it. A Casual Waffle. Also, great username. Very, very clever, original. Well done. Let's see. I'm answering YouTube comments. I'm answering YouTube comments while streaming on YouTube. It's very meta. What's up, Bradley? I've been reading Deep Work by Cal Newport. Would recommend. Dude, great book. Great book. I've read that book. Cal Newport is the man. He also has another book that I read called Slow Thinking that is really good. And it's particularly good given the current state of the world right now. When it comes to AI. Is it slow? No, it's Slow Productivity. Sorry, Slow Productivity is the name of the book. And it is very good. Yeah, I'm a big Cal Newport guy. The first book though was his first book Deep Work? I thought there was a book he wrote before Deep Work. So Good They Can't Ignore You. I think that book was before. Let me see. Cal Newport. I'm a big book nerd. I like nonfiction books, though. I read way more nonfiction than I do fiction. Yeah, he writes very well. It's very clear to understand. Yeah, Slow Productivity is very good. I had Slow Productivity was recommended to me by a colleague of mine. He doesn't work with me anymore at my current company, but he used to. And he was the one that recommended that book to me, and it's very good. Okay, back to no more YouTube comments. Back to the boot.dev. Okay, where were we? We were splitting a string, so we're ranging over the words that we just split, and we want to put in. We basically just want to say if. Actually, we don't even need to check, right? We just need to say results word true, I think. And then we can just give it the length. We can just return the length of the results. Okay, 19. Expected 2 unique words. Actual 5 unique words. Oh, we gotta we have to normalize the words. So we do, well, we can normalize the word or we can normalize the message. I'm not really sure which is the better approach. I guess I'll just do the normalized message. So we'll say normalized message equals strings.split. Or actually, let's do it. Actually, let's just do this. We'll just say to lower, taking the message, and then we'll, instead of here, we'll say normalized message like that. Sorry, leaning back away from the mic. Now run. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Expected 0 unique words, actual 1 unique word. So empty strings don't count. If word equals empty. Nope, not Python. Right and go. Continue. Do I have any more? Oh, I don't have any armor. Dang it. I should have been paying attention to that. Let's load up on some armor. Darn it. Okay. Oh man, I gotta use the restroom again. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to switch the coffee cam. BRB. Sorry, guys. Taking a lot of breaks this stream. What are you gonna do? Nature calls. Oh boy. We have not been very productive today. It's killing me. It's killing me. I was hoping we'd get done with this Go course. Somehow I screwed up my... Okay. Let's try to lock in here, Steven. All right. Introduction to pointers. Oh, this is going to be nice after just coming off the C course. Let's see. Star syntax defines a pointer. The ampersand operator generates a pointer to its operand. Okay. Fix the bug in the get message text function. It's supposed to return a nicely formatted message to the console containing SMS recipient and message body. However, it's not working as expected. Run the code and see what happens. Okay. We have I love you pumpkin is the expected. And the actual is just addresses, right? Those are just... So we need to actually do this. So let's get that over. Okay. Submit. Assignment. Complete the remove profanity function. It should use the strings.replaceAll function to replace all instances of the following words in the input message with asterisks. It should update the value in the pointer and return nothing. Do not alter the function signature. Okay, so we're gonna do strings.replaceAll. And let's see, where's the documentation? So replace all returns a copy of the string S with all non-overlapping instances of old replaced by Y. If old is empty, it matches at the beginning of the string after each UT8 sequence. So we're given a pointer, right? So we should dereference it when we pass it. So we should do something like, I think like this. We should do this message strings.replace all message, and we'll do it one more time. And then we want to replace fub with force 4. And I think it's old new. Yeah, so old, what you want to replace it with. Stirs, and then which is going to be 3, 4, 5. Let's see, cannot use. I thought, let me see. Oh, maybe I don't. Maybe it'll just take a pointer. Okay, so how do I dereference it? There we go. We do this. Like that. So do I need to do var message string, and then okay. So want me to do it explicitly here. Okay. Let's see, it failed. 2 failed, 1 skipped. So fub is working, but Riz is not. So this returns the new version, right? So what happens if I just override it? Okay, I'm lost on what. Okay, I'm struggling to figure out what this is getting at. Okay, yeah, but why can't I then... I see what you're saying, but why do I have to call the dereference operator on every single operation? Okay, that's great and everything. Okay, but why? So why can't I just dereference once into a variable and then use that variable throughout the function? Let's see, good instinct to simplify this. You can actually do that. Something like, oh, so I'd have to reassign at the end. So we dereference to the value, and then we just keep reassigning to the value. Like so. Then we reassign here message. Okay. Let's see. Functions in Go generally pass variables by value, meaning that functions receive a copy of most non-composite types. When your function receives a pointer to a struct, you might try to access a field like this and encounter an error. Instead, access it like you normally do using a selector expression. This approach is the recommended simplest way to access struct fields in Go and is shorthand for dereferencing dot. So this is where the very C-like syntax comes in. Now I kind of know what people were talking about now that I have written some C. Let's see, write an analyze message function. It should accept a pointer to an analytics struct and a message, not a pointer. It should look at the success field of the message struct and based on that, increment the message's total fields of the analytics struct as appropriate. Okay. So you want a function. So func is going to be analyze message. And is it going to return anything? Don't think it's going to return anything. It is going to take a analytics pointer and a message, which is going to be message struct. And then we're going to say if message.success, we are going to do analytics dot messages failed, messages succeeded. So messages succeeded gets incremented by 1. Else analytics dot messages failed, it's incremented by 1. Messages failed, messages succeeded. And then we're also going to update the total messages. Messages total. I feel like this is running a little slower doing the submissions. I don't know why I feel like that, but today it seems like it's running a little slower for me. Okay, what is the value of pointer y after the code on the left executes? So it would be $100. Yeah, 100. What is the value of x after the entire code block on the left executes? Okay, so this is a little, I think this is a tricky one, right? Because basically we're saying 50. Someone's upstairs banging on the floor. 50 is equal, or x is equal to 50, the value. Then we set the y pointer equal to the address of x, which means then when you dereference y here, it's really pointing to the 50. I think it overwrites it. So I think it's 100. Yeah. I thought it was a little tricky one right there. Let's see, pointers can be very dangerous. If a pointer points to nothing, the 0 value of the pointer type is nil, then dereferencing it will cause a runtime error that crashes the program. Generally speaking, whenever you're dealing with pointers, you should check if it's nil before trying to dereference. Let's make our profanity checker safe. Update the remove profanity function. If message is nil, return early to avoid a panic. After all, there are no bad words to remove. So we'll do if message equals nil, bail. I feel like that would be such an awesome keyword for languages to introduce in place of return. You can just say bail in a function. I feel like someone needs to come up with a programming language that uses that keyword. Chances are someone probably already has, because there's a programming language that does everything. Which is more widely used in Go, value receivers or pointer receivers? Probably pointer. Okay. Methods from pointer receivers don't require that a pointer is used to call the method. The pointer will automatically be derived from the value. Notice C is not a pointer in the calling function, but the method still gains access to a pointer to C. Fix the bug in the code so that setMessage sets the message field of the given email struct and the new value persists outside the scope of the setMessage. SetMessage method, okay. Where are the values in which pointers point to usually stored in Go? Occasionally, new Go developers hear pointers don't pass copies and take that to a logical extreme. No, bad, stop. Here are my rules of thumb. First, worry about writing clear, correct, maintainable code. If you have a performance problem, fix it. But before even thinking about using pointers to optimize your code, use pointers when you need a shared reference to a value. Otherwise, just use values. If you do have a performance problem, consider stack versus heap and copying. Interestingly, local non-pointer variables are generally faster to pass around than pointers because they're stored on the stack, which is faster to access than the heap. Even though copying is involved, the stack is so fast that it's no big deal. What? You just said... Oh, local non-pointers. Sorry, I misread that. Which is typically more performant to pass to a function, especially for small amounts of data. Value. I'm glad I bought that armor. Implement the update balance function. It should take a customer pointer and a transaction, return an error depending on the transaction type. It should either add or subtract the amount from the customer's balance. If the customer does not have enough money, it should return an error insufficient funds and leave the balance unchanged. If the transaction type isn't a withdrawal or deposit, it should return the error unknown transaction type. Otherwise, it should process the transaction and return nil. Yes, sir. We want a function that takes a receiver. Let's call the receiver C. It is a pointer to customer. It is going to be called update balance. It's going to take a transaction as the parameter. Call that T. And return an error. Like so. Let's move this up a little bit. I fell asleep, food coma. That's hilarious. I guess that tells you how exciting my streams are, huh? The music. The music and the food. Sounds like you're having yourself a good evening over there. Okay. So I guess the first thing is first thing we should say is if, or I guess the default should be errors.new unknown transaction. Then that's the default case, and then we'll do a check that says if t dot transaction type equals a Got some constants that we can use. Transaction deposit. Then we need to return nil, and we want to do some stuff. So basically we want to say C dot balance needs to be increased by the deposit amount. If the transaction equals transaction withdraw, then we need to make sure that they have enough money, right? So we need to say if C dot balance is less than transaction dot amount. Oh, that shouldn't be transaction. That should be T. Should be T, should be T, should be T. Then we need to return errors dot new insufficient funds. Otherwise, we can return nil, but we need to decrement by the amount. Yep, I think that's right. Undefined update balance. What are you talking about? We have update balance right here. Oh, whoops. The signature's off. Should be like this. That's how they expect it to be called. Undefined. Oh, yeah, this should be lowercase too. There we go. Yeah, then I woke up, forgot about the washing machine and the dishwasher. Oh, dude, you gotta do your chores, man. All right, we're on break for 5 minutes. So why did this fail? Transaction unknown, amount 50, expected balance 100, actual balance 100. Unknown transaction. Oh, damn it, dude. It's always the small stuff that gets you. Devil's in the details. All right, break time. Oh, this is a long break. I don't want a long break. Let's do a short break. You always do active instead of active. Yeah, I always spell text, and I always try to spell test or text, and I always flip it. So I'm trying to spell test, and I accidentally type text, or vice versa. I type test a lot throughout my day at work just because of what I do for work, and I'm always misspelling it. And I don't know why. Anything interesting going on in the news? Programmer news? I built the future of learning for developers.
Hello everybody, everybody, I'm Nick, and for the past 7 years, I've been teaching you how to do .NET and C#. I've been showing you cool tips and tricks and maybe a cool NuGet package, but I've never really talked about what I've been building. And I think it's time I show you, because I've been building basically what I think is the best learning platform for developers, especially for the future. And the future, unfortunately, it is AI heavy. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it is what it is, and the value is there. So I think learning has to adapt because it fundamentally changed. I think everyone should be aware of what I'm going to show in this video, and honestly, everyone should be using it, or at least a version of it. It doesn't have to be that, but I think honestly, if another platform that you prefer more offers a learning experience like that, that's what you should be using to learn. I'm not just going to showcase the platform, I'm also going to talk about the architecture and the choices I made building this platform and running this platform. So architecture diagram, maybe costs, stuff like that. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below and let me know what you want me to address and maybe expand on in a future video, because
I watched that. I have some thoughts about this. So Nick Chopsis, he has Dom Train, right, where he's teaching people how to code. And there's another .NET creator, his name's Milan Jovanic. He just launched a platform too called he just launched a new platform. What is it called? It's called like uh Milan Jovovich Kata something. It's some platform. Kata Bench. That's what it is. Kata Bench. Yeah, it's this one. And here's the thing, though. Like, listening to Nick talk about that right there, the thing is if the future is really AI, right? It's like there's like an inconsistency to this narrative. If the future is AI and AI is that good, why would you want to invest in learning, right? Because the AI is going to get so good, then it's not going to matter anymore. Then on the flip side, you have people that are like, well, the future is AI, but you still got to know how to drive AI. Okay, but to drive AI, you need to learn, and I don't think you can learn from driving AI. So it's like this catch-22 of like, the future of developers is using AI, but AI is absolutely horrible to actually learn from. You just get increasingly dependent upon it. Like, I think AI actually makes you worse at your skills, in my opinion. Makes you faster, no doubt, makes you faster, but I think it makes you worse at the actual thing you're doing with it. So it's this weird catch-22 I don't really understand. And like, also, I don't care for like the foregone conclusion that like it is what it is, so we just need to accept it and move on with our life. You know, it's like, I don't know, why do we have to accept it? Dunning-Kruger effect, yeah. Nick chopped. I think it's Chopsis. Chopsis? I think it's one of those two. He's not from the he's not from the UK. I think he's not from the US. I think he's from the UK. But I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that last name. Let's see how SpeakerBot pronounces it.
Nick Chapsas.
Chapsas. I don't think that's right, but I think it's something like that. I like his content. I've really always enjoyed his .NET content a lot. And I think it's great that he's trying to build a business and everything. I just don't really understand. It's like, oh, well, AI has fundamentally changed our it's like AI has fundamentally changed our field, and it's replacing the need for your job, but you need to go and spend money to learn how to do your job better. Kind of a weird juxtaposition in a way. Okay, every Go program is made up of packages. You have probably noticed the package main at the top of all the programs you have been writing. A package named main has an entry point at the main function. A main package is compiled into an executable program. A package by any other name is a library package. Libraries have no entry point. Libraries simply export functionality that can be used by other packages. Fix the bug in the code. Let's see, WebAssembly, expected magic word. I don't know what that error means. Fix the bug in the code. There we go. All I want is local AI to improve so I can leave Anthropic in the dust. Having local AI would be cool. Having tokens that you can produce locally would be very, very cool. Yeah. I think I think fundamentally that will kind of be. I think if AI is going to be as revolutionary, if AI is going to be as revolutionary as people claim it's going to be, we have to figure that out. We have to figure out how people can run models locally on commonly available hardware. Otherwise, it doesn't translate to the end consumer. I mean, it makes sense in a business case. Like if you're running a business, then yeah, it makes sense to purchase a service that provides you tokens. But if you're an end user consumer, like there's no real good use case for it other than to like do generative things with it. But like you're not generating income most times or generating revenue from the stuff you're using the tokens on. So it really just becomes a cost on your financial statement. And most consumers are going to be like, well, I could have written that thing, or I could have like I was saying earlier, it doesn't make sense in my own personal projects to be spending lots of money on AI because I don't make any money from my personal projects, right? And I will have much better returns from just taking the money that I would have spent on tokens and investing it in the market. So it kind of comes back to that thing of like the best alternative consumers would be to have some sort of local model built in, or at least runnable with their hardware locally. But most of the local capable models don't run on just commonly available hardware, right? You gotta have an investment in having expensive dedicated hardware, which is not realistic. Like my mom isn't going to be like, yeah, let me go out and buy a brand new computer just so I can have my own local LLM. Nor is she going to probably be like, yeah, let me pay $10 a month for ChatGPT or whatever. It's not. I don't think that's the future. I use local AI. Anything more, and you should be able to tell it what to do with Quinn 3.5, 35 billion. So I've tried. I mean, I don't have any dedicated GPUs though, so that's the thing. It's like if I think you need a solution where it just works. Like on any given piece of hardware you have available, it should just work, right? And what that takes from a technical perspective, I don't know, but it shouldn't require you to have these very specific, dedicated, very expensive hardware requirements. My hardware is just not good enough to use locally. That's for me, Fanberg. That's the same. I'm in the same situation. NPU llama.cpp. Nice. Yeah, I don't have an NPU or a machine with an NPU. But something like that would be, I think, a big unlock for the consumer side of the equation. I mean, again, in business context, there's always going to be justifications to spend money on services, but for consumers, I just don't see it. I'm also not the target market for it because I don't want to. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not a very good target market for it. Although I guess that if I had local AI, if I had local tokens, like the tokens I didn't have to pay for, I think I would immediately build some sort of read-only coding harness, right? Some sort of, I don't really want an agent. I don't really want an agent to write the code, but I would love to have like a pair programmer type of agent harness that's like available to help me sort through the code, to read the, to better understand the code if I'm confused, or to help me debug, things like that. That would be cool. Let's see. I mean, my S25 Ultra can run Quinn 3B 9 billion. I don't think I could. I don't think my computer will do that. I mean, I think it will, but I think it'll be so slow, and it'll eat through so much of my resources. It won't actually be effective. Let's see. Do I have it on here? I don't know if I have it downloaded. Let's see. Ollama. Probably will be even worse too with everything I have going on right now on the machine. What was it? What were we saying? Quinn 3. Use the terminal. Don't use Ollama. What? What do you mean? You mean over like a REST API? You don't want a GUI? You don't want some sort of GUI to work with it? Do they have a chat interface in the terminal? Oh, you can chat in the terminal? Oh, that's cool. Oh, with Llama CPP you can? I don't know if Ollama has that. Does Ollama have that? I mean, Ollama works with, you can use it with different coding harnesses. Let's see. Launch. We can use it with, let's try it with OpenCode. Oh, I need to first install the model though. The way to achieve AGI is to distill my brain. That's funny. I don't think you'd want to distill my brain for AGI. Excuse me. Then you just change that command to run. Will it? Oh, you mean for Llama CPP or for Ollama? Oh, for Ollama 2? I thought Ollama run just started the server. Did that change? It does. This shows how much I've used Ollama in the last year and a half. I think my computer will do worse than your what was it? What was the phone? S25 Ultra. I think my computer will do worse than your S25 Ultra. You need to run a quantized version, SM to learn tis. I'm kidding. Quantized version. Do they have that on Ollama? Can you pull one of those? But you see, but like just in that statement alone, right? Like I know you're joking around, but like what would my mom know that? Like if my mom wanted to use AI locally or have a local AI, right? This would not work. Like, oh, okay, mom, you got to find this specific you got to find this model, but this specific version of the model, right? You've got to go to your terminal or you've got to open up this app, you got to download it. It's not going to ever be ubiquitous unless they make it less. It's got to be less friction, it's got to be easier. Cody Hudson, what are challenges of trying to become a self-taught full stack developer? I'm in the Dallas area. Well, very cool. How's Dallas? My stepdad's a big Dallas Cowboys fan. I think the challenges of becoming a self-taught full stack developer, I think for a lot of people it's just I think for a lot of people it's accountability, right? It's sticking with something long term, right? Doing a little bit every day, because it's not going to happen overnight. Like this whole like, get a 6-figure job in 90 days. I think that era it has passed. Like maybe that was a thing in 2020 or 2021 that people were doing, but I think that's past. So I think you're gonna have to be patient. It's not gonna happen overnight. And then obviously you're coming into a market where you're competing with all of this AI narrative, right? And I don't think a lot of that narrative is real. I mean, some of it, there's some truth in it to some extent, but this whole idea that like software's dead and software engineering's dead, yada yada, I don't think that's true, but it is having an effect, I think, on how companies are approaching hiring. I think that'll eventually change. I don't think that's going to be for the long term. So you just have to be, I think you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to be persistent. You're going to have to be willing to be rejected many, many times. If you've only applied to 20 jobs and got rejected from every one of them, you're just getting started. So, and granted, I should say this is like N equals 1 type of advice, right? I've not helped people get jobs. So I'm just speaking from my own personal experience hunting for jobs and trying to get into tech. I wish you the best though, but I think you're just gonna have to be patient. You're gonna have to be persistent. Look at this thing. I'm gonna crash my computer. Yeah, see, like this is not usable. Right? I mean, look at that. And it's jacked my CPU usage 92%. Like that's not gonna work. Okay, let's try the okay, you're saying use a quantity. Oh no, I want to actually say bye. Stop. Okay, so you're saying pull a, let's see, Olama 3.5. Oh, you already have it. Thank you, sir. So let's do Olama remove. Olama pull. Then build a model file from Quinn. You are helpful. System parameter temperature top. Why do I have to build a model file? Why won't it just work? Dude, we completely got distracted from doing boot.dev, you know? You completely derailed the stream, Kale. I blame you. Parser. Given the import path of path to rand, which of these package names are allowed by Go? Rand. Rand. Given the import path of path to rand, which of these package names are allowed by Go? Rand. What? Can Go have at least one package? I don't know. I'm guessing. Explain to me. Hey, Kyler, if you're gonna be down here, I need you to shut these doors because the TV's too loud. Hey, Cody, I think I answered your question. I don't know if you heard me. I'd suggest save time off stream. Just download LM Studio, import all your GG GIFs, and play around with params. Yeah, I don't care enough about the local AI to take the time to do all of it. You know what I mean? Okay, let's run this. But I'm curious because I just don't think the hardware. I don't think my hardware is capable of doing it. That's completely fair. Yeah, I don't think it's. Yeah, that's still not. I mean, that's still not usable, right? Like, what's up, Gorgor Mendel? How are you? Good to see you. It's not for everyone. Yeah, I mean, I think I would be more excited to have to. I think I would be more interested in making it work if I was confident that I could make it work as well as using the non-local version, right? I think that would, like, if I bought a one of those, what are the DGX Sparks or whatever, or I got like a really beefy machine, I think I would be excited to try to figure out how to do the local stuff. But if I don't have the hardware to do it, then it's just not. I don't feel like it's worth the effort, the investment of the time and energy. Oh, I need to remove that model. We are doing well over here, Gregor. Took 6 months, yeah. That's fair. That's a lot of tinkering. A lot of tinkering. It probably would matter to me more too if I think if I had a deeper interest in using it. And I would probably, if I had a deeper interest in using it, I would probably be willing to pay the money, right, to buy the hardware I needed to make it work. I can't say I use it to do agentic stuff anyway. Well, I mean, it's just, yeah, I totally see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just want, like, I just want to be able to, like, you know how like the file system is ubiquitous to your OS, you know. I think local AI has to get to that point, right? That's when I think AI would be really, really widely adopted and useful for people. But I think until we get to that point, I think it's going to largely remain an enterprise product. You know, it's a toy that consumers that consumers use for novelty, but it'll mainly be an enterprise product. Yeah, I don't think frontier models are either. Yeah, and I don't think they will be. I think that's why you see OpenAI pivoting so hard to enterprise enterprise solutions and enterprise customers for sure. Gregor, this all AI just seems like the taking jobs narrative is more like making people rely on AI so much that it will take jobs. More like mental slash problem solving power thoughts. Yeah, I just have a very, I guess I just personally have a very, I have a very nuanced, I guess, feelings and opinions about AI. I think AI is, I think, and I'll just say like, I think generally when people are talking about AI right now, they're talking about large language models. I think if you look at AI in a much bigger scope, obviously AI has been very useful in a bunch of different specific applications and use cases in the world. So I think in the conversation of like large language models as they're being applied to the world today, I think they are a very useful tool for certain tasks. I'm not really convinced they're going to take everyone's job. I think we're a long ways away from that. And I think my largest concern, like selfishly as an individual, is just I personally feel like over excessive use of AI really does retard my personal abilities in a meaningful way. And I think that there's going to be in 5 or 10 years, we're going to be having conversations about excessive AI use the same way we've had conversations about the impact on social media, on like the impact that social media and the technologies that surround social media, the way there's been kind of a social realization about the negative impacts on our social well-being or our emotional well-being. I think we're going to have the same type of discussions in 5 or 10 years when we start talking about the impacts of excessive AI use on our mental well-being and our mental capabilities. I think society right now is largely running an experiment on itself. And I think we're going to wake up in a decade and there's going to be a lot of literature to show that AI is not good if you want to learn. It's not good for skill acquisition. It's not good for skill retention. I think you're going to have cases where AI has been implemented in education, and we're going to find out that AI just completely devastates student performance. And there'll be a big upheaval to then pull AI out of educational settings. And that's just tends to be how we handle technology as a society. We tend to have this really new cool toy, we race ahead with it, and then and a bunch of people make a lot of money from it and the hype around it, and then society is kind of left reeling and trying to sort out the aftermath of it. That I think that's what'll happen with AI. Yeah, professional fallout. Yep. I could write an essay to respond to this topic. I hate it. I love it. I would have rather it never existed. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I would trade it for cheaper RAM and cheaper hard drives. I would trade it instantly. You know? give me back the cheap hardware and take your LLMs. Yeah, but you will have like a whole generation of AI only students that cannot really do much on their own. Yeah, and I don't know if they won't be able to do much on their own, but I think there will be a generation of students that feel like they were sort of mistreated in a way, right? Not like abused, but we handed them a tool not knowing what the side effects of that tool were, right? It's like prescribing someone medicine when there hasn't been verifiable, fully flushed out safety studies and clinical trials on that drug, right? And that's kind of, I think, what we're doing with AI. I think nobody is doing a good job having a conversation about the fact that there is some sort of effect on the individual, right? There is some sort of interplay on our psyche between how our brain is developing and what the effect of excessive AI usage is on it. And there's not really many people who are doing a good job talking about that. Yeah. You say here's some cocaine. I really do think that or a lot, especially these agentic harnesses that people are building and putting together, they do really have an addictive quality to them. They very much look like a slot machine. Granted, I know that people are using them to do productive tasks and accomplish work and yada yada yada, but I think they light up the same exact pathways that things like gambling light up in our brain. And I think that's what causes the whole AI vampire syndrome, where people are just like, they're stuck fixated to their screen. It's the variable reward schedule. You pull that lever or you type that prompt and you get exactly what you want. It was magical, it was perfect that time, and you're constantly seeking, and you're just like, oh, okay, this time it wasn't quite right, let me change some stuff. So I think it really does pull on those pathways in our brain. Yeah, it's that's the stuff personally I'm worried about. I'm worried about it for me. I'm worried about it for my kids. Um, I don't really, I don't really care about everybody else. Like, nobody, that you're not my responsibility. But for me and my kids, I these are the things I'm most concerned with, and that's why I've largely pulled back how much I use AI to do things. Um, and if that makes it more difficult for me, I guess, to remain employable in this field, so be it. Yeah, I don't want a doctor who wasn't proctored to do their theories 100%. I remember my bachelor studies, the largest report I wrote was 12K words. Well, this could be a 20K. This could be a book. Somebody's going to write a book about this. Wonder if there are any studies, but this sounds reasonable. So I'm not sure about the physiological studies, but there's been recent papers. The most recent paper I read on it was a paper called System. It was basically Systems 3 Thinking. Let me see if I can find the paper. I wrote up a blog post about it. Actually, let me just go to my blog because I have the link to the paper in that blog. This paper was pretty interesting. And there was another paper I read at the beginning of this year where they basically had like, can't remember the exact experimental design, but they had like 3 different groups. And each group had to write an essay, and one group used AI, one group didn't use AI, and I think there was like a third group involved. And they had the people write the essay with and without, and then they basically quizzed the people on what they had wrote about what they had wrote. And the people who used AI, like 20 minutes after writing the essay, couldn't answer questions about what they wrote. It was really alarming. And then this paper was pretty alarming too, because it basically shows, based on the results, that when you interact with an AI, you largely are offloading a lot of your cognitive reasoning and abilities to this third system that they're calling Systems 3 Thinking is what they're calling it, which is kind of if you've heard of Daniel Kahneman's System 1, System 2 Thinking, it's sort of an extension of that. But the experiments and the results of those experiments are pretty interesting. See if I can find a sentence in here that's. See, across 3 pre-registered experiments using an adaptive cognitive reflection test, we randomized AI accuracy via hidden seed prompts. Participants chose to consult an AI assistant on a majority of trials. Relative to baseline, accuracy significantly rose when AI was accurate and fell when it erred. The behavioral signature of cognitive surrender. So they're basically saying people defer to AI. Even when AI is wrong, they defer to it. When it's right, it's great. But because AI is probabilistic, right, you're sort of giving up, right, your ability to be like, oh, maybe I should not trust what AI says. I don't know. It's a pretty interesting paper. I'll link it. I'll link it here so you can, if you're interested in reading it. But I think over the next decade, we're going to have lots of research like that, and we'll probably have some research on the physiology of it, how it affects our neurology. Like I would love to see somebody's brain in a functional MRI while they're using Claude Code. Like, what does that look like, and how does it compare to someone's brain who's at a slot machine? Like, do those MRIs show the same pattern of neurological activity? Let's see, artificial intelligence, educational applications, college students, creativity, academic emotions, student. Okay, I haven't read that one. Hey, what's up, Oblivion? Sorry, I didn't see you come in. But they didn't write it. Hold on, what? I think I missed that. Yeah, that scares me. Really wonder. I think there will. I believe there will. I think right now we're so early, right, in the cycle. Like, the science won't catch up for another 5 to 10 years. But we're all going to be experiencing the effects. I think we can all speak to it from our own individual experience too, to some extent. I know I can. It's anecdotal, obviously, right? But this is the other Gregor. This was the study that, let's see, the essays that were written in different ways. They can't answer questions on their essay because they didn't write it. I don't know why that study had to happen, but I guess educators are really out of touch with how computers work. Yeah, I guess it's an important study because it shows that there is telling something to write something and writing something are not the same. And right now, that is what is being portrayed. I feel like they're saying that you can have great understanding about something by just thinking about the thing, but I don't think that's the case. Like, you actually have to express that thinking in a tangible way. I found that paper compelling myself. AI stands for an Indian. Hey, what's up, Gun Eyes? Good to see you again. You're still here? I am still here. I haven't been very productive today. I've taken a lot of breaks, talked a lot about random things. We haven't been, I think we did 20 lessons today or something like that. Yeah, I don't even think we made it through. I think we made it through two chapters. So not a super productive day, but yeah, we're having fun. We're having a good time. We were discussing we were basically having the this is your brain versus this is your brain on AI conversation. No wonder Go is ... What do you mean? Go is not, you don't like Go? No Go for you? Go is good. What are you saying? Go is good. I think Go's great. What is a Go module? An executable main package, a library package, a file of Go code, a collection of packages that are released together. A Go module. Let's see. Go programs are organized into packages. A package is a directory of Go code that's all compiled together. Functions type, blah, blah, blah. A repository contains one or more module. A module is a collection of Go packages that are released together. Do packages in the standard library have a module prefix? No. What is an import path? Module path, but plus the package subdirectory. Okay, let's clear up a few points before we start writing Go locally. Do you need to put your code inside your Go path? The Go path environment variable will be set by default. Since we're working Go module setup, you don't need to worry about that. If you read something online about setting up your Go path, that documentation. Not every language is for everyone. Oh, for sure. For sure. I agree with that 100%. And my opinion has always been people should use the tools that they most enjoy. My dog keeps banging on my office door. Okay, so let's run these commands. Close. Lesson. You earned a sharpshooter chest. Maker, hello go. CD hello go. Go mod init. We can do github.com//hello go. Okay, cat go.mod. Wonderful. Run and submit the CLI. Inside hello go, create a new file called main.go. Touch main.go. Paste the following code into your file. That's why I'm still using Notepad++. Love the tool. Yeah, I say use what you like, you know? I guess I had to escape that. I just think life is too short. Like, and I don't think any of this stuff is that serious, right? For it to really matter, especially in 2026. I think most tools, most languages get the job done, you know? I mean, when somebody can build Doom in the TypeScript type system, I think your language or tool of choice will be just fine. Okay, ensure that you are in hello go directory, then run go install. If all went well, go compiled and installed the hello go program globally on your machine. Run it with hello go. Hello go. I don't think that worked. I think it interpreted it as a directory. Let's see, if you specific go install. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Let's cd into go. There we go. I don't think this is, I don't think they're gonna check for this. Yeah, I think if I just run it from the project directory, it'll be fine. Navigate to the parent directory of hello go. Yep, that's where we are. Create a my strings directory as a sibling directory. Okay. So make dir, which is going to be my strings, cd into my strings, go mod init, my strings, create a new file, mystrings.go, in that directory and paste the following code. Of course, don't get me wrong, Go is probably fantastic and fast language, so I've heard, but I just can't learn it. No worries, man. Yeah, no worries. I like it. I all the time I spent enjoying it, all the time I spent writing it, I've enjoyed. But I totally understand if that's not for you. You know what I mean? I am not much of a programming or AI evangelist. I say, do what makes you happy, you know? Live the life you want to live. Steve Jobs had it right. I mean, for all of Steve Jobs' faults, that thing he said at that Harvard commencement speech, he had it right. You cannot live your life based on dogma, which is living based on the conclusions of others or something to that effect. Gregor Minda, what's your top three languages? Oh, you're talking to Gun Highs? But man, fuck Java. That's kind of how I feel about Python. It's like, I know Python's a wonderful language with a rich ecosystem and lots of people love it and it has wonderful use cases, but fuck Python. That's exactly how I feel. Hey, yes, Fennel. Thanks for being a member, man. I appreciate that. Hating Java is the only dogma I will accept. I mean, I guess you have to draw the line somewhere, huh? Position encoding param is required in Vim LSP util make range. Huh. Okay. And let's see. Notice there is no package.go func main in the package. Run go build. Because this isn't a package, it won't build an executable. However, go build will still compile the package and save it to our local build cache. It's useful for checking for compilers. Okay. Go to the root of my strings. Let's do split pane down. So we can close that window. And we can do cd my strings. Then we need to submit our checks. I don't know. I might move my camera next stream. I don't think the dual format thing is doing anything on YouTube, so I think I might move my camera someplace else on the next stream. Okay. Modify with the below. Don't forget to replace remote. Okay. So we will go to what do I want to do? I think I can go. Can't I go up over here? How do I navigate? There we go. I was like, how do I navigate back? So go back to hello world. Go main. And now we need to do what? We need to say format. We need to do github.com/Stephen Freeborn. My strings. And then we'll do my strings dot reverse. Now, why are you complaining? Could not import required modules. I think I spelled it right. Oh, I have to. Okay. Replace github.com/Stephen Freeborn, my strings, 0.0.0, redirect that to ... my strings, require yes. Wonderful. Let's see, go build. Hello, go. That didn't work. Hey, thanks for subbing. Who was that? Gandalf? Thank you for the sub, man. Appreciate that. Go build. Okay, I must have implemented this wrong. Yeah, it's because it's not reversing. Let's see. Go run main.go. Okay, so we're not using the right thing, right? Go build. Go build, not. I think it's using the global, isn't it? There we go. There we go. Okay, there we go. But how are they going to run the command? Let's see, checks. Okay, they're going to do it correctly. So here. I hope Gandalf is not a Java lover. I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he's... I mean, the thing is, there's probably a time that will come when I learn Java on stream. I mean, that's probably going to happen. So I don't want to bash it too much. I've always felt like Java was the language I should be writing because of how big of a coffee lover I am. It seemed so much on point. But never made my way to it. All right, so it is time for me to work, unfortunately. This was a very odd stream. The productivity was not great. The conversations were all very random. But I mean, it was fun. It was not like our normal stream. So, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Gun Highs, appreciate it. Thanks for being a member. Gregor Mendel, appreciate all your questions, man. Thanks for hanging out here. Also, love the username. I'm guessing you might be into biology or something like that. I don't know. I don't know where else you would come up with that username from. Ailes Dragon, hey, I'm Guard the Chat. It's me, Gandalf. Do you remember me? I do remember you. It's been a long time since I've seen you around my YouTube channel. But yeah, nice to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Gregor, I am bioinformatician. Okay, that makes sense then. No wonder your username's Gregor Mendel. What's up, Kale? Have a good day, man. Appreciate you hanging out. Thanks for being a member. Appreciate it. It's a long time. I'm pretty good. I'm good. I got to run to work, so it's bad timing, but it was nice to see you around the channel again. All right, I'm outie. Bye, Gregor. Bye, Kale. Bye, Gun. Anybody else? Anybody on the Twitches? Bye, guys. Bye. Have a good day.